This is a presentation by Kylie Beamer and Kimberly Brown. Dibbles, Dynamic Indicators of Basic Early Literacy Skills. Have you heard of Dibbles before? What is the assessment tool and what does it measure? Dibbles is an assessment tool that helps teachers and schools determine how students are performing on important reading skills. These measures are designed for students in grades K through 8. It assesses a variety of reading skills, such as letter name knowledge and reading comprehension. It consists of 6 subtests that are timed. These assess the student's accuracy as well as their efficiency. These tests are individual except for the maze, which is administered as a group. The critical skills necessary for successful beginning reading include phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. The Dibbles measures assess students on 4 of these 5 critical skills, which are often referred to as the big ideas of reading. The big ideas of reading. Phonics, the connection between letters and sounds. Dibbles measures nonsense word fluency. Phonemic awareness, hearing, identifying, and manipulating sounds in words. Dibbles measures initial sounds fluency and phonemic segmentation fluency. Vocabulary, understanding, defining, and using new words. Dibbles measure word use fluency. Reading comprehension, understanding and analyzing what you listen to and what you read. Dibbles measures oral retail fluency. Reading fluency, reading accurately with expression and intonation at an appropriate rate. Dibbles measures oral reading fluency. Who uses it? Is there a fee associated with it? It is widely used in Title I schools across the nation, with students in special education programs and identified with specific learning disabilities like dyslexia. Additionally, it is used by educators focused on improving literacy for all students. Schools and districts choose Dibbles 8th edition as their assessment solution because they trust the scientific evidence, research-based practices, and the decades of experience in teaching and learning on which Dibbles is based. You can download the administration guide, student materials, scoring booklets, and the testing resources for free. Additionally, there are pre-organized packets you can purchase if you want. What does the tool measure? It is a set of procedures and measures for assessing the acquisition of literacy skills. Dibbles subtests offer efficient and cost-effective measures of processing speed, phonological awareness, and the alphabetic principle for dyslexia screening purposes. The Dibbles measures assess students on 4 of the 5 critical skills of literacy. The critical skills, or the big ideas of reading, are necessary for successful beginning reading. What is the reliability and validity of the tool? Dibbles is a reliable and valid tool that is research-driven, flexible, and comprehensive. It can track students that are both on track or at a risk of falling behind. Furthermore, it is available online as well as with pencil and paper. What is the reliability and validity of the tool? Here is a short clip from a researcher from the Associate Center on Teaching and Learning on the validity and reliability of Dibbles. Please click on the video to hear what he has to say.
Reliability and validity are important indicators of how well a measure serves its intended purposes. And so we paid careful attention to those things as we worked on the development of Dibbles 8th edition. For those of you who don't know, reliability represents the extent to which a measure yields the same result across multiple administrations under a particular set of conditions. Validity is the degree to which evidence and theory support interpretations of scores as entailed by the proposed and intended use. Validity can also be thought of as the extent to which a measure actually measures what is intended to measure. And it's important to remember that, although necessary, reliability is not sufficient to establish validity.
What does Dibbles look like? You can download each grade level booklet at the website listed above. The instructions the teacher gives are scripted to the test that the children receive. Here is a short video of a child taking a Dibbles test. Please click on the video to watch.
Please read this out loud. If you get stuck, I will tell you the word so you can keep reading. When I say stop, I may ask you to tell me about what you read, so do your best reading. Start here.
Bobby.
Ready? Begin.
Bobby was on his way home from school one day. On his walk, he saw something green in the snow. He stopped and stared. He thought he was seeing things green in the snow. It could be what it seemed to be, could it? He bent down in the snow and quickly dug it out. It was a $5 bill. He carefully smoothed it flat. He wondered if it was real money or just play money. It looked real. That made him feel good. This was a lucky day. But then he felt bad. He knew that he never lost $5. He would cry and cry. Once he dropped a dime on the floor, and it rolled into the heating vent. He never saw the dime again. What was it like to lose 50 dimes?
Stop.
Benchmarks and what they mean. Above benchmark. If your student scores above benchmark, it means that the student is performing well above the average for their grade level. Given appropriate core classroom instruction, the chances that they will meet literacy goals is above 90%. At benchmark. If your student scores at benchmark, they are performing at an average level for their age. Without intervention and with only effective core classroom instructions, the likelihood that they will reach early literacy goals is 70% to 85%. Students who score at lower levels of at benchmark are likely to need some strategic intervention at reaching reading goals. Below benchmark. If your student scores below benchmark, it is very likely that the classroom support will not be enough for them to reach their reading goals. In fact, with only core classroom instruction, the likelihood that the student who scores below benchmark will achieve reading goals is only about 40 to 60%. If the student scores in this area, it may be time to think about an effective reading program for them. Well below benchmark. If your student scores well below benchmark goals, it means they are significantly behind grade level norms. Without appropriate intervention, the likelihood that they will make reading progress is only about 10% to 20%. These students will need intensive reading interventions like a Title I reading program. The school that I work at also uses Dibbles. When asked about how they feel about this tool, Kelly Stacy, a Frankton Elementary Title I teacher, says, Dibbles is a great resource for gathering oral reading fluency. We do a cold read once a week, and the kids chart their growth. We also do a warm read 2 to 3 times a week on the same reading, just so kids can see that reading something more than once can increase fluency and accuracy. On occasion, there have been some that are a little hard or easier, and kids will sometimes acknowledge that. The school that I work at uses this tool. I interviewed a 6-year-old who said, I like seeing how far I have grown on the chart each week. A 7-year-old said, I like the different stories each week is something new. The teacher that was in the room, Kelly Stacy, says, the kids enjoy 1-minute reads. What they like most is charting their progress and being able to see their growth or decline. They know when a read is easy or not. What are families saying about this tool? Becky Welsh is a teacher in Arizona with a master's degree with a special endorsement in the area of English language learners and reading. She writes on her website, Research-Based Remediation in Reading. It is important to know that Dibbles can also give parents some major anxiety. While it is not a perfect measurement, it can be an accurate predictor of future reading outcomes. But in order to understand the possible outcomes, they must first understand what is tested, and what the scores mean. I find it helpful to go over each subtest individually with them. It is crucial for parents to understand the scoring program. Listed here is the resources used in this slideshow. Thank you for allowing us to show you our presentation.